Okay, so today's question is, what is the role of emotional and physical pain in liberation? Now, what is liberation? We already discussed that in a separate video. Again, I'll link it in the description or perhaps put the link somewhere here or here. But the question is really interesting. What is the role of emotional and physical pain in liberation? And it turns out both of these really seem to be a kind of a catalyst. And in my experience, having been to plenty of such gatherings, communities, ashrams, this is a very common denominator. A large amount of people actually enter into this kind of a ecosystem or quote-unquote surge once they have faced some kind of emotional and physical pain. Now, why is this? I think the simple reason is that usually in our day-to-day life, we are just so distracted, just following a default pattern of waking up, doing some stuff, getting annoyed at some people, irritated at others, snapping at somebody else, somehow passing the day in a sleepwalking state until we get to the bed and really sleep. So that's how our days go. In between, you mix in the other stuff of anxiety and stress and fear, and that's pretty much a chaotic 70-80 years which we live on this earth. And we never really pause to question, nor do we have any mechanism or any teaching that you can pause, you can step out of this situation of always being lost in thoughts. So what happens with something like an intense event, which in the case of this question is severe, extreme emotional or physical pain, it almost short circuits this default mode. So that a gap appears which may not really say that there is an alternate way of living, but it still points to the fact that this way is not working. This continuous race of trying to find the next shiny thing and hoping that this will give me sustainable and permanent happiness, this claim doesn't really seem to have worked out for me at this stage. So what other ways there might be? So extreme emotional or physical pain doesn't directly lead to liberation, quote unquote liberation. But it does open a doorway in our mind that always looking outwards and trying to grab things might not be the best way of living. So what alternates are there? And in such a situation, we start finding different ways. There are good ways and there are bad ways. Bad ways would, most famously be drug addictions, something, just trying to distract our mind, dilute our mind, dumb it, dull it down so that this pain leaves us if only for a few minutes or hours. The slightly better ways are traveling, connecting with nature, picking up a hobby, sports, etc. But the final way, or the most pristine way, is getting closer to the questions of what really is happening. Who is it happening to? And this I, this I who seems to be suffering, what, where, how is it? What is this I? And as you get closer to these questions, you start seeing something which was still now hidden, even though it was right in front of your face. And that question, and the clarity in that question, and the answers, if they emerge, those all can lead you to liberation, which again, in our case, for our definition, just to put it simply, is to get out of this continuous state of wanting something, needing something, of the present moment not being enough. So just to coming back to the question, emotional and physical pain, there is a road, there is a thread which goes from here to liberation. It's not a direct thread. So these things are usually working as a short circuit, trying to open a doorway, and from that door, perhaps light will emerge.